And 99.
Right? Did they miss us? Because I know it's all love. We're back with another episode of Who Woke the Savage. As per usual, it's your girl, Miss Well and Woke, aka Day from Around the Way.
And it's your girl, Lady A Savage.
And we are checking in with y'all. Ooh, who's tired? Raise your hand if you're tired. Right? Had to raise it up 2 times. Just
Both
it's been a
hands.
hell of a week, like you said. Part 599.
99. We in this together. Struggle story. Pay for our lives.
But I'm gonna tell you, you know what's kind of easing me in these weeks when I be watching a good movie. Like I said, crab legs in a movie now. Now I'm putting it together. Crab legs in a movie, a good black film.
I'm gonna give me
I
some
had it
today. I
yesterday.
think I should have did it.
I had it yesterday, friend. I told you I'm addicted. I got the shakes. I'm addicted.
Look, you know I've been fighting for my life over here. It sound like a dirt bike in the throat. Trying to get over this cold. I said, no, man, let's skip out on crab legs today.
It's giving crab soup. It's giving soup. A little bisque.
Yes, ma'am. Lobster bisque. It's giving all type of soup. I made some chicken noodle soup today.
Hey, I almost hit it with a soda on the side. I definitely almost got light real quick. Just naturally. It's not in me, it's on me. But friend, so which have you been watching during your getting better season while you were trying to recuperate?
Okay, right now on Hulu, Tell Me Lies. Tell Me Lies is a top one for me right now. I am repping this show real bad. Like I'm telling people, if you ain't got nothing to do, if you not nothing to watch, and you sitting up here trying to find you something to watch, and you like, oh, I done ran out all my shows, I don't know what to put on, go find Tell Me Lies on Hulu.
Okay, film critic.
That's
you come through with the good reviews. Like I said, at least we switched it up. It's not Tubi, it's Hulu this time, but I got you.
Hulu.
I got you.
Not TV this time, but I do got TV one too. But it's Hulu this time. 3 seasons. Definitely like that college era growing up kind of situation or whatever. It's if you into drama and you want some stuff to shake and you want to watch some stuff happen and you want your nerves to get touched a little.
Give me all the dramatics. I want the shake the table moments and all of that. So like, that's why I do gotta ask you. Is it people in color in this one, or is it?
It's a splash of color. It's a splash, like a very small splash of color. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yes.
So but little seasoning.
If you want some color and you want a little love, because you done with the drama, She Taught Me Love on Hulu. That's a movie. She Taught Me Love.
That sounds heartfelt. It's giving like Beloved Color Purple vibes.
I don't know if you ever watched A Walk to Remember.
Yes.
Think of a black version.
No, that's a tearjerker right there. Yeah. That's gonna have me in my feels. I gotta get my tissues together.
I'm going to jerk you in all the ways, but it's so good though. And it's one of those movies where like it's people you familiar with in the face, but not, real known actors and actresses, but they did amazing.
Okay, hashtag wind down weekends. We'll be giving y'all all of the films and the shows to watch when you laid up with that special little glass. Now, did you see that movie out of the Tyler Perry universe? His old Joe saga?
I did.
So with this, we talking about families today, right? We getting into the family conversation. What you thought about that, friend? Because I feel like there were some glows and some grows that I had for that movie.
Like, for a Tyler Perry production, it was definitely a Tyler Perry production. I feel like it was good. It wasn't. I feel like this. I feel like for a lot of his other movies, I feel like he kind of gets the holy rollers and the churchgoers and all those people. This movie was not for those people, and I heard them people was having. I heard they was about to flip the table on Tyler for this one.
I'm gonna be real because it was raw.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, it was real raw.
The line on this one.
I'll give it by far one of the funniest that he's done in the most recent years because there was some kiki keys in there.
Yeah, I give you that.
And the second part of it, I would give there was some history really heavily interwoven into the film. I'll give it that, like all of the different spots that were like discussed in the movie, hard hitting. So I did like he came through that. If you watched it during Black History Month, since we just came out of BHM, that wasn't a little bad one to see. If you wanted a key mixed with a lesson.
Right. How he went about it was crazy, but his reason, what he was trying to do, you know what I'm saying, it made sense. But his mission in the end, it made sense.
Right. Ratchet classics.
Some parts were still a little skeptical, but yeah.
It's not a Tyler Perry film if it's not a little suspect.
No, I ain't gonna lie. This wasn't your average suspect. Oh, like this one here was a little different. Most time was Tyler Perry. most time with Tyler Perry, you're kind of like, okay, Tyler, we're tired of being crackheads, we're tired of getting our ass whooped, we tired of somebody cheating on us, and we up here looking for a man, and oh Lord, what we gonna do? We praying for a man. That's normally your average Tyler Perry film right there.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Somebody getting cheated.
But you know what? The one thing I give to Tyler Perry is intergenerational, right? So it's always a cross between, now you got the grandparents, the pappy, then you got the kids, and he grew the characters up. So I feel like by going through that dynamic, you're now seeing somebody who's like 18, 19 being debuted, and they talking about him going off to college. So I do like the cross-generational, because we grew up in households like that where you got lots of different family dynamics, from the young ones to the old timers, and everybody got a different vibe on how they get down. So friend, talk to me. So we're going to get into it. So tell me something. What's like the funniest unspoken rule that you grew up with? Like, what's something in your family? Because I noticed that in the film, they were talking about how nobody was touching Grandpa's car. Like, he really wasn't with nobody driving the car, but then he let the grandson hold the keys. I'm going to tell you right now, growing up, my parents did not give me the keys to their car. I wasn't even allowed to roll that to the corner store. They let me go get the license, but I was never allowed to touch the car.
What?
No, I was never allowed to touch the car. The whole thing is like, you'll touch the car that you purchased. That was always the rule that we knew. You could only drive the car that you paid for.
I had an issue. The whole reason my mother wanted me to go get my license, because she was like, I'm tired of driving your ass around. Like, you got too much stuff going on. Like, you in this, you in that, you got this activity, you got to be at this practice, you got to be here, you got to be there. You need to drive.
See, there was an era, right, in New York where everybody was doing like the gypsy cab thing, and I'm not even going to hold you. So I was damn near hitchhiking and catching a ride, hopping on a little bus, taking the train, whatever it was. They did not care that I was capable of driving. You will drive when you purchase it. That was the golden rule for all of us, for all of my siblings. You didn't touch said their car in that household unless you paid for it yourself.
I ain't gonna lie.
I think the last time I saw it was a lesson.
One crazy one that is so funny. So it used to be like a family one, but it was mainly like my father's side or whatever, like my father per se. If you're like going on, so we used to go on like little road trips, right? So his thing was, if I can't sleep, y'all can't sleep. So legitly, we would be in the car fighting for our lives, trying to stay awake, because the moment he realized that you're falling asleep, he's rolling down all the windows and letting the air come in. Now, remind you, we're headed to the Poconos, okay? Now, for anybody, that's the most coldest place you can be heading around November, December. So now, no, everything is low-key getting in your mouth, because he done opened the windows that make you wake up, because you can't sleep if he can't sleep.
Whole time. Absolutely not. Let me tell you why. Because as soon as I get in the car and go to sleep, I am probably the first person to go to sleep. We've taken car trips together. You got a good hot 15, 20 minutes out of me before I'm here to snooze.
Nope. He would tell you, like, legitly, it would be like 3 cars and we're all going to the same destination. So remind you, you got to pick your poison, right? So it's like, okay, you can be in the car where you can sleep, but now you listen to the worst music. It's just the most boring ride ever. You're taking about 85 stops. It's just terrible. And then you got the other person that drive like they ain't got no sense, so you ain't going to be able to sleep anyway because you scared you're going to die. Then you got the person that drive cool, and he got the music you want to listen to and everything else, but now you can't go to sleep. It was like you had to pick which one you was trying to be a part of.
I'm going to tell you, you know what? You just double down. 2 family rules when traveling while black. 1, bringing the standard fried chicken care package with you on the road. I am not even going to stunt. The car used to be lit up, smelling like hot grease and onions, because literally, Grandma fried it down. She came with her own homemade onion rings and a hot plate. She wanted to heat it up in the hotel. Shout out. Love you, Grandma, for that. Kept us alive. That was always a thing. You always had the car travel fried chicken. You had to have the food.
Baby, we used to stop by KFC. They used to get them buckets. If it wasn't that, we had coolers that had lunch meat, all types of stuff. You make you a little sandwich. You got your little side. You got your little macaroni salad or whatever else was in there. Little potato salad that Grandma might have still made and all type of stuff.
Yep. Yeah. I'm going to tell you, that's for the car trips and amusement parks. If you know, you know.
Yes. I'm going to tell you what that is. That's back when people was renting vans and shit to go places. When you had one big ass van and you be up here, throw everybody in the van. Let's go.
We bougie now. We spend a lot of money. Now we go and do everything. Everybody want to stop. They want to go to Auntie Annie's pretzel when they get on the road. Hey, everybody want to get a little Starbucks drink. No, like I miss the old school way.
I'm going to say something right now. Miss Willenbo can speak for this personally. You've been in my car multiple times. If Ashley is the driver, if I am the driver and I am getting us to a destination, y'all better pee before we leave. What stop do y'all need right now We gonna stop, get food right now. Cause once I hop on the road, I'm not stopping until somebody tells me that they have to use the bathroom, they're about to piss on themselves or something else. I am gonna keep going until I
Can
can't
I
go
tell you
no
this?
more.
This is why we're friends. I don't believe in the put up the energy to really sit in the car for a long duration. I'm
No.
driving. Like I literally told somebody, you may want to wear a diaper or get a little pee cup or something because I don't know, but we on the road. Like
Hey,
I have a thing. Once I get destination fatigue, because when you stop, your momentum goes down, and
yes.
I hate that. So I be telling people, if you're gonna get in the car with me, just face it. We gonna get there. I 10 by 10.
I'm not stopping. So, like I
Handle
said,
your
I
business.
give everybody one stop. Wherever we at, I'm like, hey, we gonna stop by such and such. Use the bathroom. If y'all hungry, get your food, get your snacks, get your beverages, get whatever you need for this ride. Because once I get behind the wheel and I get to going, I'm putting the music up on full blast. I don't know if y'all fall asleep, that's cool. But I'm not taking that music off at 28:30. Stop playing with me. And I'm booking.
Let
I'm
me tell you
riding on
something right
down the
now.
road.
This is the rule of thumb. Over 4 hours, we do not stop until we get to the fourth hour. You
That's it.
gotta maintain. You gotta go a good solid 4 to 5 in my whip before I let you get a little bathroom break. I'm not even gonna
That's the
hold you.
thing.
Car rides that are under 4 hours, baby. When you get to your destination, you will use the restroom,
You
and
ain't
it's
lying.
gonna
The
have
four
to be
hours.
okay with you.
We should be able to get there without no stops. The only way I feel like I can see somebody want to make a stop, and I do get people that sometimes, depending on if it's somewhere where I know we're not going to see that place anywhere else, and you're like, hey, can we? You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But other than that,
Well, you know
I'm not.
what?
No.
I think a lot of the reason why we travel the way we do is because it's subject to us being people of color. Like I said, being black and traveling, especially headed down south and headed to certain destinations, you had to do certain things. Black people couldn't stop everywhere. We still can't.
It's okay. You still got sundown time.
Black
Take
people
it.
weren't allowed to eat everywhere. And this is why we always encourage. This is why grandma used to come through with the chicken and the potato salad and all of the good stuff because just growing up not being able to stop safely and comfortably to do
Girl,
everything. So I feel like it's been embedded in the culture.
girl, I remember like that one time we went to North Carolina, and remember we all got out of the car and we all looked at each other like, this
Back in the
might not
car
be the gas station that we need to be at. And we only
until
stopped
we
because
get
we
to a
wanted gas.
safer.
We was like, yeah, everybody get back in the car.
Let me tell you, we were headed to North Carolina for New Year's. I went out to North Carolina with some of my childhood friends. And we definitely hit one of them little rest stops. They were like, oh, we got it. They was one of those people like, I got to take a break every 2 hours. It was like the longest trip to NC because
Nope.
every 2 hours somebody had to go to the restroom. I was like, you know what? I'm not driving. I'm going to mind my business. But but literally we got to one of those and I was like, y'all should have read the room. You could see from the outside, okay? You can see about a little drunk man sitting in the front of the corner looking like get him Jim Bob. This is not the one that you're supposed to stop at,
It's
okay?
even white only pies.
You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to end up on nobody's t-shirt. Have you seen her?
Yeah, I don't
What's
play about
another
the
like what's another family rule like was unspoken? I know like in my household that's something that was real big. Girl, food. Nobody played about they plate in my household. When you have multiple people in the crib, it was one of them things that we would go to war. Like, who drank my apple juice? I'm telling you, everybody was turning up just like Sister Barbershop. You was like, if your name was on it, if you wrapped it up, it's an unspoken rule. You do not eat nobody's food inside of that refrigerator. It's a fight to the death.
I wish life could have been that easy. It's so funny you say that because mine is like the complete opposite. Even like now, but I'm gonna tell you how it was back in the day to like right now. Back in the day, here's was the rule. When it was me, my mother, my father, all us, the rule was this, and my father will tell you this till this day. He'll be like 24 hours. After 24 hours, free game. So if you went to Applebee's and you got your little meal and you had leftovers, and you sat up there and put it in the fridge and 24 hours passed, do not be shocked when your buffalo wings go missing because 24 hours has passed. He feel like after 24 hours, that's enough time for you to figure out you must ain't want it. After 24 hours, it is free game. And I swear, if you ain't catching that thing on the mark, your stuff is gone. And when I tell you
I'm gonna tell you that
now,
hurt my heart.
no, I'm gonna tell you how bad it is now though. Like now in my house situation, girl, the disrespect is so high. I was scrolling on TikTok one day and I seen a girl who had she was showing a lockbox for the fridge. And like, oh, you can put all your stuff in there, lock it up, put it in the fridge. I said, I'm gonna get one of those because these niggas around here, they the worst. So I said I'm gonna get one.
Lockbox.
Yeah, a lockbox. I said I'm gonna
Dang.
get one. Peep this out though. My cousin tells me, he said, oh, that thing like it's plastic. That ain't nothing to break. That's the kind of people I live with. You feel what I'm saying? One time, no lie, And I swear this has been something that always bugged me. I go out to brunch. I come back. I have my to-go bag, my brown bag, sitting on the counter. He comes down. Legitly, this is the conversation. Oh, what up, cuz? I said, what up? He said, oh, you back? I said, yeah. He said, oh, okay, so how was it? He's going through my bag like this. I said, what are you doing? You know, I was just seeing what was in here. I said, I'm confused. I never understood this, and this always cooked my grits. You will see a cheesecake box in the fridge, knowing you ain't going to cheesecake in 3 months. Why are you opening up my box? You know you ain't go nowhere. Why are you opening up my bag? You just came
Let me tell
downstairs.
you.
Who told you to start doing this in my bag?
You hit the nail on the head when you said cheesecake. Let me tell you something about this, right? So back in the day, I don't know if y'all remember, Applebee's used to have this dish called shimmy cheesecake, right? It was bomb. It was busted, right? It was like that. It was like that. Still remember the day. Okay, little caramel drip, all that good stuff, right? So I'll never forget this. My grandfather takes me and my sister out to eat, my cousins, everything like that. And he's like, what y'all want to get for dessert? We like that little shimmy cheesecake. And at that time, me and my sister were like, we going to do a little split. We going to split that little cheesecake. You know, you get your little piece. I get my little piece. When I tell you, every fork at the table came towards this cheesecake. I was like, hold on. When he said who wanted dessert, I thought that question meant like, you get a pie, you get a slice, you get a scoop. Like, I thought everybody was going to do something. The way that my sister was unguard battling my cousins, like, she was putting up the fork like, bow, 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 cross up. What are y'all doing? Like, why we're all going to eat this together?
The way that's ready to lick my food. I be ready to just...
I would say I'm a good sharer, but my friends taught me a different type of sharing than my siblings did. And I will 110% say that. We believe the respect, like I said, if you ain't pay for it, it ain't yours. But my friends, anytime I was growing up, if I had a slice of pizza, a burger, a fry, an ice cream cone, everybody was splitting that bad boy in halves, thirds, fifths. Everybody was getting a piece. I almost backslapped somebody for taking a lick of my ice cream cone. I was just like, sis, we close, but we not look at my ice cream cone close. What you doing?
Like I said, the disrespect in my family is all time high. Like I said, I've had family members who have took the ice cream cone out my mouth and been like, you don't want that. I have a godson right now where I swear to God, like, I'm like personal space somewhere. I literally was eating a devil egg and I was like looking at his mother like, yeah, girl. I go back to bite the egg. He's meeting me on the other side. We're about to do some Lady in the Tramp shit because he is on the other side of his egg.
I ain't even gonna stop. I thought you were about to say that you bit your fingers. I thought it was going. I was
about to go back and go like this. We are Lady in the Tramping because he done went and came and is biting the other piece of this egg while it is going towards my mouth.
You remember that expression with couples? And I think it's so difficult with me. Like, anytime I'm in a relationship situation, like the sharing of the food, I could give you the end of my plate. Like, and I feel like it's respect. If I could give you my last bite, I care enough to be like, here you go, the end. Don't ask for my first bite though. Like, if literally, if the food gets there and you like, that looks good, and your fork gets lifted before mine does, it's a problem for me. Like, I was dating this dude, and I remember, like, this is back when I used to eat red meat. I literally ordered, like, the best little top tier little steak. You know what I'm saying? The filet mignon cut. Baby, the knife was already over. He was carving it down. He was like, look, I'm going to do this. This is me, you. I was like, I feel like you ordered the T-bone, right? That's what you wanted. And I ordered the filet mignon. Or we confused. Like, I don't know what's happening here.
Ma'am, you are triggering me. I'm going to tell you something. I will never forget this. I went on a date way back to Outback with this guy back in the day. Now, I don't really eat, I definitely don't eat red meat now, but back then I never was a big steak eater. You know, people go to Outback like, oh, get a steak or something. So I ordered the wings. Anybody going to Outback know I got the wings. Okay, I'm a wing eaters. So he go, I take you to Outback and you gonna get wings? I said, yeah, because I'm not a big steak eater, this, that, and the third. He was like, out of all things you could out on the menu though, like, you want a wings? I might have got like a side or something. So I go to the bathroom. My wings and stuff come out. I go to the bathroom, wash my hands, everything, come back out. My man looks me in my face and says, yeah, you right. They wings good as hell. How would you know that?
But
if the bone ain't in my damn plate because he done already ate a wing and put the bone back in the basket.
Wait. Hold on. Return to sender. Why did the bone have to go back in the basket? Just for so many reasons. Like, you could have left the evidence elsewhere. First off, respectfully, you waited for me to get up from the table. Like, you wanted the wings since they came. You wanted the wings after I said it.
You
Like,
want
let's
the
just
you want
establish,
the wings,
right?
and you
Let's
wait
peep
till I
this,
left.
right? When the waitress comes to the table or waiter, they usually say, "Do you like an appetizer? Do you want an appetizer?" Right? That was the time to get your wings. That was the time to get your. These are my dinner wings. These are your dinner wings. You ate my dinner wings. Like, see, look, I don't know. Maybe I'm petty.
No. My thing was this: I wouldn't have had a problem giving you wings. Ain't like they don't give me about 10 wings. I wouldn't have had a problem. It's the fact that you try to talk bad about my wings because I ordered them in the first place, and then you purposely waited till I walked off to eat a wing. You could have just kept it a secret. You could have hid the bone, tossed it, threw it, or something. I probably wouldn't have counted the wings. I would never knew. But you set up there. Not only did you wait till I walk off to eat the wing, but they had the goddamn audacity that they got on sale at the flea market, buy one get one free, and they are stealing it. To sit up there and put the bone back and look at me in my face and say, "Yeah, you right. Them wings do be hitting." How would you know?
They over.
It took me to look down and be
Check.
like, I
Check.
said,
It's the for me it was the lack of hygiene. Why did you put this bone back on my plate though? Like, I gotta look at the carcass. You just left it just
oh,
sitting there staring at me
oh,
in the
baby, I
face.
got.
That is the worst. Like,
Let me tell
I
you,
can't see that would have that's a turn
that
off
did it.
like instantly.
No, it did it. It did it. Cause let me tell you, I had another one. Peep this. Brought out my food. Brought their food out. Brought the guys' food out too. Oh, all our food come out at the same time. They messed up one of the things on my plate. So they're like, "Oh, we'll fix it. We're gonna bring it out." We're at a sports bar. Girl, I turned my neck to look at a game. Cause you know I'm into basketball. I turn my neck, look at the game. If I don't have the fucking fork on my plate going tick, 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 girl, I ain't get to pray with my food good. This man is already eating something off my plate. Like his food ain't out there.
I got you on that one. So I went on a date, right? And people like, get what you want. They always trying to tell you, get what you want. So now I said, I got a nice little palette over here, right? I want my scallops, I want my penny, my pasta, and I want all of my lobsters, right? But you know what? I'm a modest orderer when I go out on a date. So I was trying to play it cute. Like, oh, I'm just going to get something real simple, little scrimps. That's all. Person like, nah, get what you really want. So I was like, okay, Zaddy, you got it? You got it? Okay, I'm going to get my scallops, okay, and my little lobster bisque, okay? Just want you to know. So I get my food, cool, I'm full. So he was like, you're taking that to go, right? And I was like, well, it's just a little bit of food left on the plate. Like, I'm cool. I don't got to pack that up. He was like, nah, like I ordered you this food, so you taking it to go? Like, waitress, bag it up. This is her to go plate. I was like, so are you forcing me to eat the leftovers? Because I just feel like it was nothing but a scoop left. They didn't have to go bag up a scoop. He made the lady and then asked if she could toss in a few extra shrimp just to even it all out. I was like, sir, it's like ordering another meal. Like, I feel like you ain't have to do all of that. I was like, do you want it? Because it sounded like you want it. I was like, hey, how about you take the leftovers? You did pay for it. This could be a little work lunch for you tomorrow. Because I was like, you practically forcing it. Like, he could not understand. He felt like if I paid for the food, the leftovers must go with you. And that's a rule. I didn't know it was a rule.
No. Like I said, I just don't understand. I never understood it. Like I said, if nothing cooked my grits harder, like I said, it's nothing than somebody realizing you did not order something and had the audacity to open it and eat it like you ordered it.
I'm telling you, Flat, we trying to heal them childhood wounds.
I am in confusion. I just don't understand. In my house, I fight for my life with that one. I fight for my goddamn life all the time. So let me ask you this.
I think, got you.
What's something nobody said out loud, but everybody knew better to follow?
Okay. Don't come in the house with your shoes on. That's a big one. Now, I also grew up real old school. So grandma had the plastic on the couch.
Facts.
That's one thing. We protect the furniture, right? The living room wasn't the room that you low-key lived in, okay? We spent some time in as a family, but you didn't sit there watching TV. You didn't eat in the living room. The living room was not to be touched for that. It took my mama years before she let people sit up there and get comfortable eating in the living room. Like, that wasn't even a thing. You did not bring food. You didn't mess up her light carpet and her light furniture. She was not playing with you on that one. That was the biggest rule in the house. And I think now that I'm older and I can honestly say this, I got light furniture and I'm very meticulous. I'll let people, yes, I am. I'm not going to hold you. So, I mean, like in your family growing up, like I said, did the boys have different tasks than the girls? Were different assignments that people take on more or less responsibility? Like, how was that decided? Like, who put that out there?
So, I know for me, my upbringing was a lot different because I'm technically only child on my mother's side. I have siblings on my father's side, but I didn't live with my siblings on my father's side. But in my older years, my grandmother brought my mother's side to bring my grandmother into our house, and then she brought my two cousins with her. So now I pretty much grew up with two other people in the house as far as like pretty much damn near being siblings. And I'm gonna tell you this, them boys got away with bloody murder. I'm gonna tell you, I'm up there looking like Cinderella trying to get to the ball. You hear me? I'm up here dusting and cleaning bathrooms and mopping floors, and I think the most they had to do was like maybe vacuum a floor or something, like I feel like grandma was letting boys be boys, you know what I'm saying? Like letting them be, go outside and stuff like that. And I don't know. I feel like it was different for me.
I mean, interestingly enough, like in my household, I feel like my father was one of those men who felt like because he had all girls, that our
Mm,
role was to be Susie Homemaker. Like they
mm,
go to dishwasher, they go to laundry folder. This one gonna be ironing the shirts before I go to work in the morning.
I'm dead.
Who on kitchen duty, bathroom duty? He felt like he had a cleaning crew
I'm
to be up
dead.
in there.
I ain't gonna hold you though. That
They say
sounds
that.
about right. Cause
Ugh,
when I, cause I ain't gonna hold you. When I actually moved from like I started living with my father, right? So when I lived with my father, that was my father. When I lived with my father, it was like, oh, I now have a cleaner, a cooker. She washing clothes. Like it
candlestick
was, oh
maker.
yeah, you got a little housemaid now. Yep, she up here. She cleaned the house. She do this. I got lunch. She packed my lunch. She up here make me dinner. When I come home, the dinner ready. All I gotta do is X, Y, Z. Oh yeah, that's some daddy stuff right there for sure.
Well, I say it because I'm the youngest. Everybody has a way that they like to do things. So it would
Oh,
always be like my mother would be like, okay, this is how you unload the dishwasher. This is how you wash this. This is how you do it this way, her way. My sister,
mhm.
this is how you do it. It's got to be done this way. Now I'm young. I always say this: being the youngest of everybody, we do things with our own unique spin. Work smarter, not harder.
Oh
So
Lord.
I was always trying to find the easiest way to get through a task or a chore, right? So my mother would be
So
like, things
it
got to
worked.
be folded a certain way. I'll be like, oh, girl, we could just roll this up, throw this in the drawer like that. Easy, color coordinated, right? So I will say that is probably the biggest kick because it was always said to me like my sister's role, and I would say at least one of my older siblings, she's considered the banker.
Okay.
She is the banker for the family. She handles all of the financial situations that happen that go down. She controls the coin. She makes sure everybody knows what it is, where it is, what the documents are, and she is our tool.
Yeah, and she should.
And
She good at it. Cause I know what you're talking
she
about.
real good at it. I say, and from my family dynamic, I'm definitely the wellness person. Anything
Okay.
medically related, I'm the healthcare proxy for everybody. I'm on everybody paperwork. Like I literally have to make all of those informed decisions, and I'm also the person that has the most difficult conversations. If you
Mm.
need to tell Uncle Leroy bad news, call Day.
Oh no.
If somebody done gone and went to the upper room, holla at your girl. Anything that is remotely heavy emotionally, anything that is medically related, I am the person that my family is going to go to have those conversations and to go check on someone.
I'm gonna tell you.
Those are the roles.
I feel like now because it's like only really me and my cousin. Like as far as like the sibling dynamic kind of situation, I feel like definitely because I'm probably oldest. My role is like all the above. Like I'm the financer. I'm the cook. I'm the this. I am pretty much holding the fort down. When it comes to my cousin, though, I feel like his job is when she can't carry it, let me come pick it up. If it
You
gets
know what?
too
That's
heavy, if it gets too heavy for her, I know I can pick it up and help her. But I do
I
need her
like.
to still, I need her. But if she something happened and she dropped the ball, I know I can be of assistance.
See, the thing about people assigning roles though is like you feel like you have to play it to a certain spot. So like, if
Yeah.
I'll go over to help my parents or something, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, somebody got to set this up on the TV." I'll be like, "I'll do it." They're like, "We'll wait for your sister." I'll be like, "Y'all don't gotta wait for my sister. Like I'm here. Let me set it
Yeah.
up." But if there's something that they need me to handle, the whole conversation will be had. I'll be like, "You ain't talked to moms and pops about this?" They're like, "Nah, they was waiting on you to come over here and have that conversation." So I'll be
Yeah.
like, okay, look, sometimes there's some cross sectionality in how we can operate and function, right? So I think that
Yeah.
within the Black family dynamic, we assign certain tasks or attributes to people. And that's the role that they get put in. And that's not always the easy space to sit in. Like being the youngest, that whole young, wild, free, the youngest sibling gets
Mm,
away with murder or does all these things. I also felt like being the younger sibling but having the older parents,
mm.
I knew that there was going to be a lot of teachable moments about this like how society is shifting and changing and moving. So I had to orient my parents, I feel like, into a new space. So they may have gotten one version of parents, I got a different version of parents. So I do feel like it was different dynamics growing up.
So let me ask you this: what's one cycle that if you were brave enough to break, you would break? as far as family dynamics.
I honestly feel like when it is time to host difficult conversations, I do feel like there's an element where people like to put off really hard things,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I was having this conversation, I was saying that as Black people that we have to start talking about estate planning very early, right? There's a book
Okay.
on Temu that I ordered called Final Wishes. And I had brought it up to my moms and my grandma, and they was like, "What you want to do that for? Why would you up there looking at that?" And I was like, I'm looking at it because anything could happen in life, right? We're not indispensable as human beings. So I was like,
Okay.
if anything was to go down for me, I would want y'all to know where everything is, what to do, and how to do it. And I was like, we should all be people like that. When I tell you they almost flipped the table, don't come in here with all that bad news, bad energy, and bringing all of that stuff in here about talking about playing for these end of days. So they got real defensive. I feel like an effort to keep a strong family unit and for everybody to look out for each other, you gotta have those sit down conversations. We said this before. Sunday dinner was always big, but everybody didn't talk about all the
Mm-hmm.
stuff that needed to be talked about during Sunday dinner. You know what I'm saying?
That's what
Sometimes I feel like those hard hitting conversations have to happen a little earlier rather than later, and that's the generational curse I'm trying to.
Yeah, I know for me, that's exactly what I was gonna say. It's the hard conversations, but I think one of my big um breaking cycles for me is the hidden conversations. Not necessarily the hard ones, but the hidden ones. I feel like
That
it's a lot of things in the black household where I feel like I learned a lot. It took me till I was 30. I'm 34 now, and I legitimately just had a conversation with somebody of learning something that I never knew, or whatever the case may be. And I feel like it's the hidden conversations where sometimes I'm like, if you knew these things, and I'm not saying you gotta tell me when I'm a baby or a toddler or anything, but growing up, if I knew these things, it could help me as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying some people do feel, oh, it's my business. I get that. But I feel like when it comes to your family and comes to certain things, it shouldn't be the my
that is
business
my
thing. Some of
business.
these things are learning
Yeah,
experiences. Some of these things I might not be in this situation if you had this conversation with me and you told me how this could have played out. I may not have been around these people if I knew what they did to you when you was around them. I might not have been around them
exactly.
people.
And I think that that's the avoidance factor, right? So we avoid having those hard hitting conversations and then it gets
Hmm.
tucked away and hidden. And like you said, but
Yeah.
anything that's done in the dark comes to the light. That's always been the expression, right? So eventually
Hmm.
I'm going to learn it. I'm going to find out whatever you didn't want me to find out. I always had, you said those like deathbed or proclamations that people like to make when
Yeah.
somebody's getting ready to meet their maker. That's the people like,
Hmm.
oh yeah, if nobody told you, guess what? Cousin such and such and auntie
Indeed.
so and so. Yeah, come on. Like I don't have
Hmm.
time for that either. Like I'm such a straight shooter. So I am one of those people that I believe that anything that you feel is going to come to the light later on, especially as it pertains to health, right? Things that you never hide from your family, medical conditions or health issues. All right. We
Thanks.
already know there's a few things that people can be predisposed to, right? There's certain issues or health related issues that people could have. You don't hide if breast cancer runs in the family. You don't
No.
hide if kidneys don't anything run in the family, diabetes, cancer, none of that stuff. Those are not things where people just want to mislabel or not speak about those things because it could
But
impact the next generation. You got to keep people aware and alert. So I always feel like in the family dynamic, that's a conversation that blows me. Never hide a medical concern.
But my thing is, even those, right? It's even so much deeper than that for me. And I'm gonna say this now: trigger warning, molesting, rape, certain things of that nature. Sometimes these are a lot of things that are hidden, and those people who did the act are still around. And you don't know that this person committed that act because nobody said nothing and everybody trying to play like we just let it go, we just let it go.
You know, because you already issued the trigger warning, so I'm going to say some real things. And I would feel like growing up, it was not encouraged for me to go to sleepovers, right? You don't sleep over in other people's
Mm-hmm.
houses. And as a kid, I would see all my friends having these big sleepover parties, and I always wanted to host one. And the only people that was allowed to sleep over at my house was family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would beg to go to sleepovers. And I think I got, as I got to a certain age, I was allowed to maybe go to two. And my mama
Uh-huh.
practically had to sit in them people's house, vet their whole family, interview them, do a whole like criminal
Mm-hmm.
background check before she even felt comfortable. And as I get older, I always say, love that. I appreciate my mother for what she did in those spaces. It was her looking out for me. But it took
Mm-hmm.
me to get to a certain age to understand all the whys. I had to learn all the things that had happened to generations of women in my family and around my family before I got to understand it. I was just told no. It was like, no, you can't sleep there. No, you ain't going there.
It was
But
no
nobody ever gave me the
story.
why. And I feel like the why would have helped me protect myself better in certain situations.
And that's what I mean. It's the hidden agenda behind it that nobody tells you. And that's what I'm saying. That's the psychology, the hidden agenda behind it. If I say, hey, baby, look, I don't feel comfortable with you going to sleepovers, but let me tell you why. If I feel like you're old enough to understand what I'm saying, let me tell you why. My reasoning behind it. There's some scary people out here, baby, and some stuff has happened. And I don't want something to happen to you that I have the experience for myself. So if I can protect you from having to have something happen to you that has happened to me, I'm going to do that every time.
And I think that that's a part of the conversation. Like you said, it happens in adulthood. And then you find yourself reflecting on those moments, right? And you're like, that makes sense. Now I know why this person didn't get along with this person. Now I know why we didn't go here or we didn't stay here too long, you know?
I do feel like if, as parents, you know, different things, if that communication was there, you would feel comfortable sometimes to tell your parent things that might have happened to you. It's a lot of things that people carry that's happened in their life, and they don't feel comfortable to explain those things and have those conversations with their parents because you didn't feel comfortable enough to tell me about your stuff and tell me what happened to you. So how am I supposed to give you that back?
That's 100%. I feel like I had to get there as an adult too. Like it was a moment in my life where I felt like by keeping certain things to myself that it was hurting me as a person. And if I didn't have that vested conversation with the women in my life, that we wouldn't have learned different dynamics about each other, why we react to certain things the way that we react to them, why we feel and handle situations a certain way. And like you said, it didn't take until we got a lot older. And I wish I felt comfortable. See, a lot of times within our dynamics, there's a lot of shame and blame and being real about things that you've experienced or things that have happened to you or things that you witnessed. And you don't want all the accusatory. You don't want to feel like you can't come. I always feel like if I have children, I say this, I want my kids to tell me everything. Even the stuff they think that I don't want to hear.
Everything. I don't care. Everything.
And I think it's a defense mechanism.
You had a good day, had a bad day, something crazy happened. I'm not going to be one of them parents where I feel like, because you said, oh, guess who sucked my dick last night? Okay, what happened?
You know, I'll say this. My mother was the type of parent that if it was a situation, like, and I said, hey, like something's bothering me, who did it, where, when, I'm coming up to the school, make sure she knew I know the full names of everybody since I was like 3 years old. My parents' names are this and that. This is where I live at. This is who you call if there's a case of emergency. I know all my spots by correct name on my body so that nobody could touch me here. And I'm going, oh, they hit my no-no this, my no-no that. I'm going to say this to all parents. Please teach your kids the correct name for their body parts. Because if something ever happens to them, they need to be able to not only just tell you, but another adult and call it by the correct name.
Baby.
So that could be addressed. It ain't the deep and the new and all of that other stuff. Teach them what their parts are so that they can advocate for themselves so harm doesn't get brought to them.
Jay, I'm not even trying to be funny. When I tell you, I had my godson one time, and he's 3 now. At the time, he probably was about to turn 3. Taking him to a jump park, you know, whatever. So before we go, I'm like, oh, let me make sure, you know, he not wet, he not nothing, you know, whatever. So, you know, you like how they tell you, like, test the diaper, like you pat the diaper. Girl, when I tell you, he was like, no, don't touch my penis. I was like, okay. I said, look here, I love the enthusiasm. I'm just trying to make sure you're not wet. And he's like, okay. I was like,
but see, look, he had an early conversation about consent. Before you touch me, explain why. Because I'm going to tell you why I don't want you to touch me and why you can't touch me. And I appreciate, I don't know if you ever seen that TikTok video where the lady's like, no, don't touch me there. My no-no square. Don't. Like, she was giving the kids full-blown lessons. That's what you got to do. She did a good job. Shout out to his mama.
I said, he said this. And I said, I respect it. I said, I just want you to know what's about to happen. And he said, okay. She said, yeah, we be doing the no-no song. I said, what the hell is the no-no song? She be like, yeah, be like, no, don't touch me here. Don't touch me here. You know?
No, because but for real, you send your children out into this world, and it's unfortunate within the line of work that I'm in, you hear a lot of bad things happening to kids. And so I feel like because people don't have those conversations across the board. Like, I remember, like, my grandmother used to refer to that to that area as the post office. And she used to say this was her little talk. Don't let nobody deliver mail to the post office, okay? She was like, don't let nobody drop nothing in the mailbox that ain't supposed to be there.
You know what mine
And
was?
that's it. That was the talk. I was like, what? What? I
You
was
know
like,
what mine
who the
was?
mail? What's the letter? What's in the letter? How they get it into the
Nope.
mailbox? What's
At least
happening?
yours was the mailbox. Mine was the pocketbook, and that speaks for itself. Should nobody be carrying your purse? But should that was mine.
Okay.
Mine was a pocketbook. It wasn't that. That's what mine was.
And see, when we were growing up, there was a good thing of inference, and we were raised to understand all these different like phrases that came out in the world. But I'm gonna tell you right now, for these new kids, you practically got to have a map and a diagram and sing a Dora and Boots song. I got to get up here doing a whole Dora and Boots, like backpack, backpack. Don't let nobody load it up with things and knickknacks too. Like, okay, like you gotta give the baby something different these days.
I can't. I cannot. Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's Savage question time.
And hear
It
him.
is. And this time, let me tell you, somebody actually DM'd me this time. So this is a
Ooh.
question that somebody has DM'd me. Her name is Tisha. I don't want to give too much after that. Her name is Tisha from Delaware. She pretty much was saying how she feel like she's the oldest or whatever, and she feels like her younger siblings get away with murder all the time. So her question was, who do you feel like gets away with the most in a family dynamic, and why?
Okay. I can only speak for me, and I know this may be me projecting a little bit. I say this. I don't feel like I get away with everything. I felt like I was surveilled in a lot of ways, right? So I feel like what my older siblings were encouraged or able to do is because people felt like because of birth order, they can stay out, they can go and do certain things, and we know that they're going to follow the rules, right? So I do feel like they had a lot of the respect that came along with the responsibility. Me personally, I used to feel slightly disrespected because I was like, you don't think that I could keep myself safe? You don't think that I could take care of these same areas or of concern? Like I used to feel like being the youngest was rough because people didn't trust you with as many things and they kind of shirked your capability, right? Exactly. So I feel like the older sibling gets away with more because they're expected to carry a lot more. And in that realm, I understand what Tisha's trying to say. She basically saying like, the younger sibling, doesn't have to fight as hard. Then also sometimes the younger sibling benefits from the parents learning through the mistakes of the oldest. So I will say there were mistakes made and I may have benefited from that growth era. But there was also some times where I had to teach my family how to loosen the reins or look at things from a new perspective.
Look here, Lil Tisha, if you listening, I agree. And I agree on all levels. I agree as being, the one, like I said, I'm my only child, but I told you my dynamic of my cousins coming. But even when I look at like me being, a sibling, I like to have siblings on my father's side. Oh baby, I get away with it over there. I'm gonna tell you right now, I get away. I get stuff and I'm telling it all. I get away. I mean, they can't even catch me and they be mad about it. I get away. Anything I want, I touch, yeah, I'm getting away with it. Stuff they be like, oh, he would have never. Well, guess what? Never say never, because I got it. But I will say, even like being, like I said, on the other end and having my cousin, he's the baby. And I'm going to tell you now, oh, he gets it. He gets away. And he gets away. Stuff that I have been kicked out for, stuff that I have had things happen where not the same result at all. Like I said, I'll give you one. If we share a washer and dryer, clearly, in the house. So, people want to wash their clothes and, do stuff. My cousin left his stuff in the washer one time. My mother called. She like, who's stuff in the dryer? I'm like, oh, it's your nephew's. She like, I gotta wait to put my stuff in the dryer. And that was it. That was the end of the call. We move on to the next day. He come in whenever he come in, take his clothes out, go on by the day. He does it again another time. She took the clothes out the dryer, put the clothes up on the dryer. Baby, I left my clothes in the dryer one day. He threw my clothes in the hallway. My clothes got tossed. Wow, get him out of here. And then I got the phone call like, so you're not going to be able to get here and get these clothes out? So what am I supposed to do? Because my clothes can't go in the dryer. Oh, wait a minute. Where was all that energy at when this little boy did the same thing 2 weeks ago?
Because you got the assumption you supposed to know better.
You supposed to know better because you older. You supposed to know better. And see, that's what it is. I feel like babies get away with stuff. The youngest people get away with stuff because they automatically believe because you older, you knew. You know how I like stuff done. You know it's supposed to get done. You know what you're supposed to do before you leave. You know all the rules. I expect them to do
But
some dumb
see,
stuff, but not
that is the
you.
conflict. Because, but see, that's the conflict for me. I would say that the older person does things closer how the parents wanted it to be. The younger person is like, I'm not going to do everything the way that y'all do it, but I don't want to be criticized or ridiculed for how I do things. Because,
But my
granted, I'm
thing
going to
is,
tell you, he could have came
but
up
I
in there
feel
and he could have
like
got his clothes, but he may have got half the clothes, the
well,
first time. He be like, I left a
he
little
did.
bit in there to keep it warm.
But that's the thing. He wasn't even home. That's what I'm saying. The crime don't fit the punishment. I'm just saying, if you want to sit up here and give a punishment out, give the same punishment out equally. I feel like he wasn't in the house. His clothes in the dryer. You took his clothes out the dryer, set them nicely on top of the dryer. I was not home. My clothes were in the dryer. You threw my shit in the hallway. I'm just saying, it's not the same punishment, but it's the same crime.
Look, but I'm gonna say I watched something that was so interesting. So it was like a mother talking to two siblings, and she was telling them, I guess, where babies came from. And the oldest, she was like, Jesus. Jesus brings the babies and he dropped them off.
All
And
right.
so the younger sister says to the older sister, she was like, that's not how babies are made. You know what I'm saying? Pa dukes, they get together, they do what they got to do, and that's how a human is made. So the older sibling asks the mother, like, why, you told me that babies can't choose? Because she's like, I knew you would believe it. I knew that if I told you to do something, or if I told you, and this is how it was, you would say, okay, you the authority, I'm going to trust it. Your youngest, she wasn't going to do that. She wasn't going to believe that story. She was gonna be like, but so Jesus just came down and all of a sudden there was a baby and then y'all just gonna tell me that's the whole thing, there's no other parts. So I do realize that when it comes to families too, people pick and choose who they feel can do, handle, or respond to things better.
I can see that.
That's how those dynamics are set. So I would feel like, okay, if I tell you to do something and I feel like I know that you'll take the clothes out, not only will you take them out, you'll fold them up, put them away right, then I'll trust you with that. But I know if I tell the other person to fold them, they're gonna take them out the machine, but they may just leave it sitting right in front of the dryer or on the floor in the basket, right next to the washer. And that's huge. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's a part of the
Tomato,
dynamic game.
tomato,
This
tomato.
Well, I hope we helped you, Tisha girl. So basically we saying it on two parts. Add a little grace to your younger sibling, but I'll give it to you older ones.
He should
It's
beat
still
your
some
feelings up.
responsibility. She was like, hands and feet, hands and feet. You gotta be all the same. We all getting the same thing.
Right hand, left hand squeeze.
All right, but we appreciate y'all for rocking with us on another episode of Who Woke the Savage. As always, Lady A Savage, tell them where to find us.
All right, y'all already know. Y'all can sit up here and find us on YouTube at Lady A Savage, Miss Well and Woke. Y'all can also find highlights and clips on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, Miss Well and Woke, Lady A Savage. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We want to hear from y'all. Like Tisha did, DM me savage questions. Any topics y'all want to hear, y'all can DM us both topics. We want to hear from y'all. We want to know what y'all want to talk about. We want to communicate with y'all. Like we said, we in this together, and like my homegirl always say, we love y'all for free. So let us know.
And we do. All right, we out.